Hello and welcome everybody, what is going on? So, it has been a while since I saw you guys and since you guys saw me, since I wasn't at home during the Mainz match. So I decided I really wanted to do a preview for the match against Atletico, which is obviously today, tomorrow, depending on obviously when you're watching this. It's at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning actually. I just wanted to give my thoughts because obviously, first of all, I want to talk about the match against Mainz because there are a few interesting highlights here and there. And second of all, I want to talk about the match tomorrow, the match against Atletico Madrid. Now let's talk about the match against Mainz. The match against Mainz, I thought, we played a 4-2-3-1, and you could clearly see an improvement with Müller. I think that was like the key thing. But you also could clearly see an improvement with our overall system. Now the thing is, I've seen a few people say we should stick with that system. For me, it's a case of right now, it's probably our best system, but we still need to find a way to utilize our players much better. And for me, honestly, the best formation we can probably use is a 4-4-2, just because we've got the players set up for that. We've got all the key areas filled out, and if we just utilize those, then we can really cause a lot of damage for other teams. Because 4-4-2 is a pretty balanced system, so yeah, and our attacking players, they wouldn't look out of place. So 4-4-2 is probably still my preferred choice, but seeing a 4-2-3-1 and seeing how much it actually worked, it just gives me hope. It just gives me hope. However, then obviously with the post-match comments, I was like, maybe I shouldn't be so hopeful. With obviously Lahm saying that the only reason why we played a 4-2-3-1 was because Alonso was injured. Alonso is also injured for the match tomorrow against Atletico Madrid, so that's already been confirmed by Sky. So that that means we're gonna play the same thing. But then Ancelotti also came out and said that we're gonna rest a few players and we're gonna bring some fresh legs in. What does that exactly mean? Probably Bernat, Rafinha, Batchduba. I think he should be fully match fit. Bernat, Rafinha, Batchduba, maybe Ulreich. I'm not so sure about that. I don't know how much to what degree he's talking about when he says he wants to bring some fresh legs in. But obviously, you have a lot of players that we can bring in. A lot of players that really haven't had the time to and really the game time as well. So a lot of players that were injured for long term that might need to get some game time, or a lot of players that just haven't really been playing much. So I'm fully expecting Sanchez to play. I've been saying this now for nearly 2 months now. Sanchez right now is probably, for me, he has to play right now. He has to play. I think that we've really underutilized him. I think that at the beginning, obviously, he wasn't that good. He was still trying to find his feet. But I think his last few matches have really shown that he can actually really add to the team, and all he needs right now is the game time to really develop, and he hasn't really been getting that. So for me, he needs to play. For me, him playing has to be, that has to be the case. I'm expecting him to have a very good performance tomorrow. But in terms of the match, Atletico Madrid, obviously, I think it's pretty well known how dangerous they are, how good they are. But the one thing that actually gives me hope is the fact that obviously we're playing for nothing. So ultimately, whether we win, whether we lose, it doesn't really matter. Obviously, it does matter because it's a game. But ultimately, in terms of points, in terms of standing in the table, it really doesn't matter. We're already free. We're already second. They're already first. There's nothing that can change. So that's it. But I do think we're gonna win. I think they're gonna play a much stronger team than we are, and I also think that despite us playing a weaker team, I think that we're also gonna win. And the reason for that is quite simple. We have against the bigger teams, right? We've actually performed much better than we did against the smaller teams so far this season. So far, you look at the teams such as the only two losses I can actually think of against big teams were Dortmund and Atletico Madrid, and both of them were a 1-0 loss from what I remember. Against the Atletico Madrid match was a 1-0 loss as well. So we've had two 1-0 losses against big teams, Dortmund and Atletico Madrid. But when we look at all the other big teams, or all the other teams that have played well this season, all the other teams that are known to cause us trouble, or all the other teams that have quality players, maybe have underperformed a little bit here and there, but still, still have quality players, enough quality players to really cause us trouble. Leverkusen, we've beat them. Gladbach, we've beat them. Schalke, we've beat them. So we have faced some tougher teams and we've beaten them. And honestly, just looking at that, yes, we haven't looked that convincing throughout the whole season. But against the bigger team, we still show up. And even against Dortmund, we played really well. Probably deserved the draw, but it wasn't meant to be. It just wasn't meant to be. So so far right now, it seems like we've got an attitude problem, not really so much as a footballing problem. Because even, I've been saying that the whole time as well. Even when we're playing the wrong system, the players should still be playing much better than they have been. And that's honestly what I've been thinking. Obviously, the system is the easiest thing to blame, so everyone will blame it, including me. But still, the players are to blame at this fault. They really are, because you can't, it doesn't matter where you play on the pitch, you should still give 100%. And they haven't really done so in a lot of matches. So for me, with the importance of tomorrow's match, not just obviously not in a standing, but much more in a we just want to play really well. We just want to show that we can still that we can beat them. I'm expecting a 3-1 victory with a lot of standout players. I don't know who's gonna play in defense. I really can't make that judgment, but I'm hoping that we're really gonna look good in defense for once, because that's probably our weakest area. I know we've conceded the least goals in the European top 5 league, which is kind of surprising based on how many, based on how bad our defenses looked, to be fair, But that in itself shows that we aren't that bad. I'm very careful right now what I'm saying, but we're not really that bad defensively. We just make very stupid mistakes that make other teams look much better than they are. As in, the whole situation with Javi's handball and whatnot. There's a lot of things that have been going wrong for us lately. But I still believe in the team. I still believe that we can keep a clean sheet. Right now, that's the most threatening thing. Just once keeping a clean sheet. It seemed like forever since we've last had a clean sheet. So I'm hoping for a clean sheet tomorrow. But I'm not expecting that. I'm expecting them to score 1 goal. They're just too good of a side not to score. And I'm expecting us to score 3 goals. Why am I expecting us to score 3 goals? I don't know, it's just my gut feeling, really. My gut feeling is saying a 3-1 victory to us. That is just, like I said, my gut feeling. My logical thinking answer would probably be like a 2-1 victory to us. We're at home, advantage. But I just see it being a 3-1. I don't know why. I think it's going to be like the game where we're actually going to play well, be a good team, and then the whole confidence and everything, the whole issue will be back, and we'll be like, yeah, you know what? We still got it. Ancelotti, it's working and everything, and then we start going on a run until obviously the winter break, which is pretty much soon. And then from there on, we're going to come back and we're going to steamroll teams. That's what I'm expecting. That's what I'm fully expecting. But we'll see. I'll see you guys tomorrow after the match. It's going to be quite an interesting match, just because obviously we don't know what the teams are going to be. So we're going to see a lot of fringe players. Does that include maybe like some youth players as well? I don't know. I'm hoping for maybe Benko, Dorsch, Green. I really want to know what Gaudino's up to, at St. Gallen. I really want to know what he's up to, because I always thought he has the potential to be a great player, but he never really but we never really heard anything of him. I know he was on loan for 1.5 years, and he's still got, I believe, half a year left. So we'll see when he comes back, whether there is a place for him in the team or whether there isn't, whether he's going to stay on loan, whether he's going to come back. We don't know that. We don't know these kind of situations. But yeah, that's all there is though from me, ladies and gentlemen. This was MiaSanMiaTV. If you enjoyed this video, please rate, comment, and subscribe. Peace out and have a nice day. Bye.